Season 2 has just had some massive updates to its current patch. Doomfist and Ramatra have had some major buffs and nerfs, along with some other heroes from the Overwatch cast. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Starting off D tier, let's kick it off with Hammond, aka Ball. Ball is D tier due to the fact that literally every other tank in the game is better than him. He has very little to offer, unfortunately. Ball doesn't provide much as a tank, and essentially really is only good for being an ult battery. Brigitte is D tier, and if she could somehow be lower than the last time I placed her D tier, she would be. Brig is even worse thanks to the buffs to Orissa's Terra Surge that now goes through shields. Better luck next time, Brig. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. Starting off C tier, we will begin with the king of last patch, Doomfist. Doomfist, unfortunately for him, has had all of his cooldowns nerfed. He is not only effectively able to keep rhythm as he once was, but he doesn't do as much damage either, thus allowing him to not be as much of a threat. Junker Queen is C tier and is still kind of in a rough spot, being that her shout is still pretty weak. She struggles to keep momentum like the other tanks, however, she can still get a lot of value with her ultimate Rampage. Sombra is a C tier DPS because she requires far too much setup for far too little payoff. In addition to needing a lot of setup, Sombra also needs her teammates to cooperate with her in order for her to pull off a successful EMP. The final hero in our C tier, Genji. Genji is C tier because the majority of his kit is pretty underwhelming and leaves much to be desired. However, Genji's ultimate Dragon Blade can still be very powerful. This is especially so when it's combined with Ana's Nano Boost or Mercy's Blue Beam. Be sure to follow my Twitch and catch me live by clicking the link in the description below. Let's open up the B tier with Zenyatta. Zen is B tier because he actually does a good amount of damage. His Discord Orb is excellent at applying pressure, and his ultimate Transcendence is great at bailing his team out. Ben is not higher on this list though due to his low healing output outside of his ultimate and his lack of movement. Up next, Ana Amari. Ana is our second B tier support on this list. Ana is still strong thanks to her Nano Boost. Her anti-need is strong, well, as long as they don't run a Kitiko. Most of Ana's abilities besides her ultimate are countered by Kitiko, and her lack of mobility are what solidify her as a B tier support. Despite her recent buffs, they are not enough to make her meta or even an A tier choice. Baptiste. Bap is still a decent pick, but his kit is a little bit underwhelming. Baptiste's lamp remains unsurpassed with the exception of Kitiko Suzu. Sassiest B tier hero on this list, Symmetra. Sim is kind of underwhelming despite her recent buffs. Her turrets can be annoying and her wall is surprisingly somewhat helpful though against Sojourn Ultimate. Fariha Amari, also known by her Overwatch operative name, Pharah. Pharah is B tier on this list because while she is good in the current meta, she struggles against characters like Sojourn, and unless Pharah has a Mercy pocket, she doesn't get a ton of value. Torbjorn and his turret are still a durable pick in this current meta. Torb is easily countered though by characters like Sojourn and Bastion. His turret and his ultimate still bump him up to B tier though because he's able to get value doing tons of damage with them. Up next, Mei. Mei is able to get value by making space with her wall and being able to freeze enemies in and out of her ult. However, Mei is still B tier because she struggles to keep up with the damage output in Overwatch 2. Zarya is our first B tier tank. Zarya is B tier because quite frankly, her bubble nerf has made her less effective in the current meta as she once was. She also struggles against burst damage as a result of it. Cooldowns like Roadhog's hook are shorter than Zarya's bubble, making it difficult for Zarya to get value. Her grab is still super powerful though, and she's able to secure easy team wipes with it. Our second B tier tank, D.Va. D.Va struggles to get value and sort of acts kind of like an ult battery. Her defense matrix is really strong and makes her still able to stand her ground against heroes that are more overpowered than her. The Irish Mercy, aka Moira. Moira lands herself in B tier because she's pretty strong and able to do tons of damage and tons of healing. Her kit doesn't have much utility though, and there are stronger supports such as Mercy or Kitiko. Opening up A tier, let's begin with our favorite Crusader, Reinhardt. Rein is really strong right now because he's able to get shatters for free. The only reason he's not in S tier is because he kind of gets bullied by characters like Roadhog and Orisa. Echo is pretty solid in this meta. As a flyer, she pairs well with Mercy and is able to push out an absurd amount of damage. Her ultimate copy is pretty useful in almost all situations. The main thing she struggles with is being one-shot by hitscan while being airborne. Hanzo is A tier because the hitbox on his arrows is not only massive, but he does a massive amount of damage. Hanzo's movement with his jump, along with his wall climb, give him the movement he needs to escape tricky situations. Cass is a pretty strong DPS pick and thus lands him in A tier. The combo with his sticky bomb and overall damage output really bumps him up on this list. He really only struggles to take duels against Sojourn or Bastion. Soldier 76. Soldier is an excellent DPS choice thanks to his damage output and his ultimate, Tac Visor. Soldier's mobility with his sprint allow him to engage and disengage quickly, and again, much like Cass, Soldier really only struggles dueling Sojourn. Ah yes, our favorite spider, Widowmaker. Widow is a powerful DPS because she's able to secure quick picks with lethal headshots. She's a bit of a glass cannon, and really only has one chance to escape with her grapple. Tracer. Tracer recently had some nerfs to her damage, which really is the main reason why she is no longer an S tier pick that she once was. Tracer still gets immense value with her blinks, recall, and damage though, able to build her ult quickly. Reaper. Reaper is still a solid pick in Overwatch 2. His lifesteal, damage output, and teleport all make him difficult to deal with as a DPS, not to mention his Wraith. Reaper's ultimate can still be pretty powerful, especially when paired with Kitsune Rush. Sigma. Sigma is actually surprisingly pretty strong as a tank still. His damage output and ricochet from his primary fire allow him to pressure the enemy team and build ult quickly. Sigma's shield is also surprisingly helpful against Sojourn and other DPS as well. Winston. Winston is our final A tier tank. He's still really strong thanks to his cleavage damage with his Tesla cannon and his bubble. Primal Rage ain't bad either for stall. Ashe. Ashe is an A tier DPS because she can do a fair amount of damage and pressure with her dynamite. With a Mercy Pocket, she's able to shred pretty hard. She just struggles to, again, counter Sojourn. Junkrat. Our final hero in A tier. Junk's explosive nature lets him blow up the enemy team and build his tire quickly. Tire is also a fantastic ultimate because it causes the enemy team to truly fear where it's going to hit, which rightfully so. Tire can be devastating. Sojourn is still by far one of the best DPS in the game, arguably the best. Her nerfs haven't really exactly made that much of an impact. If anything, she's deadlier now, particularly due to the fact that the nerfs have required her to have a Mercy Pocket, making her unstoppable and unkillable. Bastion. Bastion is S tier because of their insane damage output. Bastion's ability to go tank mode and dish out a ton of damage make them feared by squishies and tanks alike. Bastion is able to pressure the enemy consistently and is able to hold their ground against Sojourn. Bastion's ultimate, while not the most OP ultimate in the game, is great at zoning, and when it hits, oh baby it hits. Kiriko. Kiriko, once again, is an S tier support. Kiriko is powerful, reliable, and her Suzu, despite a recent nerf, is still the best support ability in the game by far. Invulnerability Suzu has is just unbeatable. Kiriko's ultimate, Kitsune Rush, is also deadly when combined with other ultimates. You either love him or you hate him. Roadhog. Roadhog is probably one of the best tanks, if not debatably the best tank right now. Hog's self-heal, large health pool, and one-shot combo all make him terrifying to play against. Roadhog's ultimate combined with Kitsune Rush is a lethal combo, thus making Kiriko and Hog very meta together. Lucio. Lucio more or less is S tier. His speed boost and solo frag potential make him a solid support to carry on and give value. Lucio thrives in rush comps, and when played properly, it can overcome pretty much all comps on ladder. Not to mention, Lucio's ultimate is basically tide turning. Orisa. Orisa is extremely strong right now. The buff to Orisa's ultimate now allows it to go through shields, making her even more effective. Does a lot of damage, and also has a surprising amount of crowd control, to where she can really go toe-to-toe with Roadhog. Mercy. Mercy is still S tier, and if not more so thanks to the Sojourn changes. Sojourn needs Mercy, and Mercy needs DPS characters to pocket to get value. Mercy's movement also makes her ideal for the fast pace of Overwatch 2. And finally, our final hero and S tier choice on this list, Ramatra. Ramatra recently got some buffs that make him pretty strong. He's got increased movement speed in his Nemesis form and an armor bonus as well, all around making him more threatening to deal with. His shield cooldown was also reduced as well, safe to say making him a very strong tank pick indeed. If you'd enjoy more content like this, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. Until next time, gamers, GG.